The Third Testament, Section 9. Teachings of the Divine Wisdom. Chapter 36, Faith, Truth and Knowledge. Faith overcoming everything. 1. To overcome weakness, wretchedness, misery, and passions, and to remove doubt, faith and good works are indispensable, which are virtues that accomplish the impossible. Towards them the difficult and unattainable vanishes like shadows. 2. I said to the people who believed in me in the second time, your faith has helped you. I explained it this way, because faith is a healing power, a force that transforms, and its light destroys darkness. 20, 63-64. 3. Those who are still far from spiritualization want to see me in the form of Jesus, to say to me, Lord, I believe in you, for I have seen you. To them I say, blessed are they who believed without seeing, for they have given proof that thanks to their spiritualization they have felt me in their heart. 27, 75. For I want you to know what faith is, so that you may understand that he who has it is the owner of an incomparable treasure. 5. Whoever lives enlightened by this inner light will never feel rejected, abandoned, weak, or lost, however poor the world may think him to be. His faith in the Father, in life, in his destiny, and also in himself, will never let him perish in the struggle of life, and he will also always be able to accomplish great and amazing works. 136, 4-5. 6. Faith is like a lighthouse that lights your way of life until you arrive in the safe haven of eternity. 7. Faith must not be that of those lukewarm and fearful spirit beings who take a step forward today and a step back tomorrow, who do not want to fight with their own pain and believe in the victory of the Spirit solely because of the Father's mercy. 8. Faith is he whom the Spirit feels, who, knowing that God is in him, loves his Lord and rejoices in feeling him in himself and loving his fellow men. So great is the faith in the Father's righteousness that he does not expect his neighbors to love him, to forgive insults and transgressions, but believes that tomorrow he will be filled with light, because through his merits he attained his purification. 9. He who has faith has peace, has love, and has goodness in himself. 10. He is rich in spirit and even in material things, but in true riches, not in the one you mean. 263, 12-16. 11. I now give you the proof of the existence of true faith, when the heart does not despair in the hour of trial, when in the most critical moments peace fills the spirit. 12. He who has faith is in harmony with me, because I am life, health, and salvation. He who in truth seeks this haven and this lighthouse does not perish. 13. He who has this virtue does miracles beyond all human science and bears witness to the Spirit and to higher life. 237,69, 71. The recognition of the truth of God. 14. When the heart holds good faith and the mind is free from prejudice and vague ideas, life is better appreciated and the truth is known with greater clarity. If, on the other hand, doubt or vanity is concealed in the heart and error in the mind, everything appears unclear, and even the light appears as darkness. 15. Seek the truth, it is life, but seek it with love, with humility, with perseverance, and with faith. 88, 5-6. 16. Pray, question your Father in your prayer, and you will receive in your meditation a spark of my infinite light. Do not expect to receive the whole truth in a single moment. There are spirit beings who have been searching for truth for a long time, who are searching and trying to penetrate into all secrets and yet have not yet reached the longed-for goal. 17 Christ, the Anointed One, showed you the way with the words, "Love one another." Can you imagine the scope of this sublime commandment? The whole life of men would be transformed if you lived according to this teaching. Only love will be able to reveal to you the truths of the divine mysteries, because it is the source of your life and of all that you have created. 18 Search diligently for the truth, seek the meaning of life, love, and become strong in the good, and you will experience how, step by step, everything that was false, unfair, or imperfect will fall away from your being. Be more sensitive to the light of divine grace from day to day, then you will be able to ask your Lord directly for all that you want to know and what your spirit needs to reach the highest truth. 136, 40-42. 19 I am the word that seeks men because they could not come to me. It is my truth, which I reveal to them, since truth is the kingdom, into which you all are to enter according to my will. 20 How will you discover the truth when I do not tell you before that many renunciations are necessary for it? 21 To find the truth, it is sometimes necessary to renounce what you possess, even to renounce yourself. 22 The self-indulgent, the materialist, the indifferent man cannot know the truth unless he breaks down the walls within which he lives. It is necessary that he should override his passions and weaknesses in order to see my light face to face. 258, 44-47. 23 Blessed is he that seeketh the truth, for he is one thirsty for love, light, and goodness. Seek and you shall find, seek the truth, and it will come to meet you. Think further, also further consult the book of divine wisdom, and it will answer you, because the Father has never remained silent or indifferent to him who questions him fervently. 24 How many of those who seek the truth in books, among the scholars and in the various sciences will finally discover it in themselves, since I have planted a seed of eternal truth in the innermost part of every man. 262, 36-37. 25 I cannot deceive you. I am never in an act of falsehood, I do not hide myself in the dark. My truth is always naked. But if men could not see the nakedness of my spirit, it is only because they did not want to. I do not hide my truth from you by any garment. My nakedness is divine and pure, my nakedness is holy, and I will show it to all beings of the universe. As a symbol of them, I came into the world naked as a man, and naked I went away from you again. 26 I want that truth always prevails among the ones who are mine because I am and will always be in your truth. I want that love is among you, and my love will always be in your love. 27 There is only one truth, one true love, and when this truth and this love are in you, your love and your truth will be mine, and my truth and my love will be yours. 327, 33-34. 28 My light is in every spirit. You are now in the time in which my spirit will pour out on men. That is why I tell you that you will all soon feel my presence, the learned as well as the ignorant, the great as well as the small, the powerful as well as the poor. 29 Both the one and the other will tremble at the truth of the living and true God. 263, 33-34. The knowledge of the spiritual and divine. 30 It is impossible for any of my children to forget me, because in his spirit he carries within him conscience, which is the light of my spirit, through which he must sooner or later recognize me. 31 For some it is easy to penetrate into the meaning of my word and find the light there, but for others my word is a riddle. 32 I tell you that not everyone at this time can understand the spirituality of my message. Those who cannot will have to wait for new times for their spirit to open his eyes to the light of my revelations. 36, 4-6. 33 When I tell you that my wisdom will be yours, do you believe that a single earth life can be enough to know all that I have to reveal to you? When I tell you that you cannot attain human science without going the long way of development, you can still less acquire the knowledge of the spiritual without a complete development of your spirit. 34 I do not set spiritualization in opposition to science, for this error was that of men, never mine. On the contrary, I teach you to harmonize the spiritual with the material, the human with the divine, the transitory with the eternal. Nevertheless, I explain to you that, in order to walk on the paths of life, one must first know the path that is marked out for you by conscience, whose spiritual law springs from the divine spirit. 79, 38-39. 35 You have sunk so low and have distanced yourselves so far from the spiritual that you consider all these things to be supernatural, which, since they belong to the spirit, are perfectly natural. Thus you call the divine supernatural, and likewise you consider everything that belongs to your spirit, and this is a mistake. 36 The reason for this is that you see and perceive only that which is within the range of your senses or within the grasp of your human intelligence, and you have considered that which is beyond the senses and mind to be supernatural. 273, 1. 37 Both the man who seeks the light of knowledge in nature and the man who seeks my wisdom in spiritual revelations must walk the path by which he will find all those truths which he cannot discover in other paths, on his own feet. It is precisely for this reason that I have sent out your spirit to live one life after another here on earth, so that he may discover, through his development and experience, all that is in him and in that which surrounds him. 38 If you will, examine my words thoroughly, but study and observe life from their point of view afterward, so that you may discover the truth contained in all that I have said to you. 39 There will be occasions when it will seem to you as if there were a contradiction between what I am telling you today and what was revealed to you in past times, but these do not exist. It is men who are caught in error. But now all will reach the light. 105, 54-56, x. Requirements for spiritual insight. 40 Humility is the light of the Spirit, and in contrast to this is the absence of the same darkness in him. Vanity is the fruit of ignorance. He who is great by knowledge and respected by virtue possesses true modesty and spiritual humility. 101, 61. 41 Let all evil thoughts depart from you, and put on noble thoughts. Happiness is not in what one possesses materially, but in what one recognizes spiritually. To know is to possess and to act accordingly. 42 He who possesses real knowledge is of humble spirit. He is not proud of earthly wisdom, which only strives to know everything, earthly, and denies everything that it has not understood. He who carries within himself the light of inspired knowledge is able to receive revelations at the right time, just as he also knows how to expect them. Scholars have called themselves many, but the sun, which shines in full light day after day, has been a mystery to them. 43 Many have believed to know everything, but verily, I tell you, the ant that imperceptibly crosses their path also contains for them an unfathomable mystery. 44 Men will be able to explore many wonders of nature, but as long as they do not do it in the path of divine love, they will not reach the true wisdom contained in the Spirit's immortal life. 139, 67-70. The necessary expansion of human consciousness. 45 I granted man freedom of thought from the beginning. But he has always been a slave, sometimes out of fanaticism, and in other cases as a slave to the false world views of the Pharaoh and the Emperor. That is the reason why he is blinded in this time in view of the freedom that the Spirit now attains and the brightness that is presented to his eyes. For his mind is not yet accustomed to this freedom. 46 Man had diminished the power of his understanding of the spiritual, and for this reason he fell into fanaticism, walking in tortuous paths, and was like a shadow of the will of others. 47 He had lost his freedom, was not master of himself nor of his thoughts. 48 But now the age of light has come, the time when you must break the chains and spread your wings to rise freely into infinity in your desire for truth. 239, 4-7. 49 This century in which you live shows two aspects. One is the development of the mind, and the other is spiritual stagnation. 50 Indeed, the divine light shines down upon the minds, and therefore my great inspiration springs from them, the fruits of which astonish mankind, for the mind now craves freedom and knowledge expansion. Man immerses himself in the study of nature, he researches, discovers, rejoices, marvels, but is never indecisive. 51 But whenever the thought arises in him of clarifying the relationship to the spiritual, to the truth that lies beyond the matter known to him, he is afraid of advancing into the unknown, into that which he considers forbidden, into that which, in his opinion, is only for high beings worthy of the study of the mysteries of God. 52 Then he has proved himself weak and foolish, unable to overcome by willpower the prejudices that hold him down. Then it has been shown that he is a slave to twisted interpretations. 53 Never will the unfolding of human intelligence be complete until it also develops on the spiritual plane. Know how great the backwardness of your spirit is because you have devoted yourselves only to the realization of earthly life. 54 Man is slave to the will of others, victim of spells, condemnations, and threats. But what has one achieved by this? That he gives up all his desires to comprehend and attain the highest knowledge that man should possess, that he prevents himself from being able to clarify what he has absurdly always thought to be a mystery, spiritual life. 55 Do you think that the life of the Spirit will be an eternal mystery to man on earth? If you think so, you are in a great error. Verily, I tell you, as long as you do not know your origin and do not know anything of what relates to the Spirit, you will, with all the progress of your sciences, be mere creatures who dwell in a miserable world among plants and animals. You will continue to fight each other in your wars, and pain will continue to rule over your lives. 56 If you do not discover what you carry in your being, nor discover in your neighbor the spiritual brother that dwells in everyone, can you really love one another? No, human children, even if you say that you know me and follow me. If you take my teachings superficially, your faith, your knowledge and your love will be wrong. 271, 39-45. 57. In me men will find the courage to free themselves from the yoke of their ignorance. 58. How can you expect peace on earth and wars to cease, men to renew themselves and sin to decrease, if they have no spiritual knowledge, which is the precondition, origin and foundation of life? 59. Verily, I tell you, as long as my truth is not understood nor obeyed, your existence on earth will be like a building built on quicksand. 273, 24-26. 60. I tell man that he is an unknown to himself because he has not penetrated into his inner being, because he does not know his secret, because he does not know his true nature. But I want to teach him in this time the contents of the book that had been closed to him for so long, where all secrets are kept, which I promised to enlighten you already in the second time with the light of my Spirit. 61. Now you will truly get to know each other and penetrate into the innermost part of your spirit. Then you will be able to say that you begin to know who you are. 62. Man will get to know his origin, his purpose, his task, his abilities, and all that infinite and eternal life that lives and weaves around him. He will no longer be able to hurt his neighbor, will no longer be able to endanger the existence of his fellow men, nor will he dare to defile anything of all that surrounds him, because he has come to the realization that everything is holy. 63. He will know that which his spirit contains and hides, and then he will have a clear idea and a deep faith that, since the spirit is wonderful, the home which his Father has planned for him in eternity must also be wonderful. 287, 4-6.